Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the kickoff symposium for the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, or I²CNER. My name is Sachiko Fujisawa. I'm a staff member of I²CNER's administrative office, and I'm very excited and honored to be your MC on this grand occasion today. We'd like to begin by introducing the president of Kyushu University, Dr. Setsuo Arikawa. He is responsible for I²CNER's initiative and will deliver today's opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyushu University President Setsuo Arikawa.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to attend the kickoff symposium of the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, or I²CNER, pronounced I²CNER of Kyushu University. I extend my warmest and heartfelt welcome to each of you gathered here today. I'm particularly pleased to introduce 5 distinguished guests. Mr. Takafumi Goda, Director General of Science Technology Policy Bureau at the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, MEXT. Unfortunately, he just left for Tokyo to attend our Direct Congress. And Dr. Toshio Kuroki, Program Director of the World Premier International Research Center Initiative, WPI. Professor Nobuyuki Kasagi, WPI Program Officer. Mr. Tadashi Higashi, Secretary General of the Fukuoka Strategy Conference for Hydrogen Energy. And Ms. Ann Emick, Head of Tokyo Regional Office of the National Science Foundation, NSF, of the United States. As you know, the World Premier International Research Center Initiative, or WPI, was launched in 2007 by Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. And since its establishment, the WPI has supported the development of 5 world-class research centers. In July last year, the I²CNER was selected as the 6th and the newest member of the WPI family and started operating from December the 1st last year. And today, at the opening of the I²CNER's kickoff symposium, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and extend my appreciation to everyone who has provided the I²CNER with support and cooperation. I² will tirelessly pursue green innovation and reduce CO2 emissions, as well as achieving fundamental science by fusing various fields to establish non-fossil-based energy carrier system and develop science-driven technological solutions for the realization of a sustainable and environmentally friendly society. Additionally, the WPI program seeks to reform and elevate a research environment to the highest international standards. To this end, the I²CNER is headed by an American director, Professor Petros Sofronis of the University of Illinois, where a satellite institute is located. Under the strong leadership of Professor Sofronis, the I²CNER seeks to incorporate work experience obtained at a world-class research university into operation of not only the institute itself, but also Kyushu University. This approach to management also characterizes a paradigm shift for research, operation, and administration at Japanese university. And as one of the main pillars of internationalization promoted by Kyushu University, the I²CNER will aggressively pursue interdisciplinary research by strengthening collaborative research activities and tied with both domestic and international universities, research centers, and related institutes. Director Sofronis has energetically been contacting relevant institutions in the United States and working to initiate international network of research cooperation and partnership. Today, at the kickoff symposium, prominent researchers at internationally renowned institutions, many of them from Kyushu University and the University of Illinois, will presenting lectures and keynote speeches with focus on I²CNER research activities. I hope you will enjoy this symposium and learn a lot about I²CNER. In closing, I would like to ask for your kind understanding and continuous support for our effort as we work towards the success of the I²CNER. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Arikawa. Next are some congratulatory speeches from 4 of our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a small change in our schedule. As President Arikawa mentioned, it was originally scheduled that our first guest speaker would be delivered by Mr. Goda from MEXT, but unfortunately, Mr. Goda needed to go back to Tokyo early this morning. However, Mr. Nitta is kind enough to take his position and give us a speech. Mr. Nitta is a director for Policy Division, Science and Technology Policy Bureau at Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, also known as MEXT. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our great pleasure to introduce Mr. Koshi Nitta from MEXT.
As you just heard, Director General Goda had to leave Fukuoka suddenly to attend today's committee of the Japanese Diet. On behalf of him, I'd like to read his message. It's a privilege to be here today at the kickoff symposium for I²CNER, the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research of Kyushu University. I'd like to take this opportunity to offer my congratulations to President Arikawa, Director Sofronis, and everyone concerned. Back in 2007, MEXT initiated the World Premier International Research Center Initiative, or WPI, a highly challenging and long-term program designed to support the establishment of leading global research centers. The WPI ambitiously aims at creating globally visible and open world-leading research centers in Japan, where the world's finest brains gather to share ideas, where outstanding research results are generated, and where talented young researchers are nurtured. With the addition of I²CNER of Kyushu University last year, we are pleased to say that the WPI and its activities are becoming recognized, not only researchers and journalists, but also general public. I²CNER is being led under the guidance of Professor Petros Sofronis, who is a working professor of University of Illinois. Professor Sophronis is the first foreign director of any WPI centers, and this should be a significant advantage to I²CNER in becoming an international institute. I believe that I²CNER will, with the director's mid to long-term vision, establish an international research institute with global research, achieving breakthrough in existing academic disciplines and in top-level research, and bring about a transformation of the conventional Japanese research system. As you know, the nature of the WPI also means that it requires consistent support from the host institute. We are deeply grateful for the firm commitment and understanding we have received for this initiative from the President of Kyushu University and the Center Director and other concerned parties. We have high expectations for I²CNER and wish you the best of success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nita. Our second guest speaker today is Dr. Toshio Kuroki, the WPI Program Director at the Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, or the JSPS. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce Dr. Kuroki from the JSPS.
Thank you very much for a kind introduction. As Program Director of WPI program, and also on the behalf of JSPS, I'd like to extend our warmest congratulations for inauguration of this I²CNER, which is the 6th WPI Center. On this occasion, I'd like to mention briefly what is a WPI. Probably most of you do not know details of the WPI program. WPI program was initiated in October 2007. So it's just 3.5 years before. It's quite a new program. And October 2007, we had 5 WPI research centers: AIMR on material science in Tohoku University, IPMU on University of Tokyo, I²CENER on mesodynamics and stem cell biology in Kyoto University, and I²CNER on immunology and Osaka University, MANA on nanotechnology, National Institute for Material Science in Tsukuba. And now we have a new member of WPI Center, which is, needless to say, it's I²CNER on carbon neutral energy in Kyushu University. So we very much welcome the newcomer, and you are now a member of our WPI Research Center. And WPI program covers the basic research. So this is very important for scientists. We are very much concentrate on the basic research, and we expect some days it come to the applications to our society. And we aim to make a globally visible and internationally open centers. This is also very important because, and if you think about scientists of Japan, we have so many outstanding scientists. For example, it's counting a Nobel Prize laureate, and we are second position in this 10 years after 2001, after United States, of course. But if you think about Japanese universities or institute, you may think it is really, they are really for Japanese people, exclusively Japanese people. It's not open to internationally, and of course it's globally visible, but it's not open. It will rather close the door to the international community. So our aim is to make a globally visible and internationally opened research center. And 4 basic goals which is, we think it's very ambitious. It's advancing leading-edge research. Of course, this is basic conditions as WPI Center. And creating breakthroughs or paradigm shift by fusion of existing research field. This is not an easy task. I discuss later in some details. And establishing internationally open center and reforming research systems. This is also important task for WPI research program. And we have several target numbers. For example, 20 or more top-notch PIs in each WPI centers, and total of 200 or more members, including administration people. So this is a quite reasonable size to be a world top research center. And another aim is to make international research center. For this, 20% of PIs are invited from abroad, and 30% or more overseas researchers, including postdocs. And English as working language, and whole programs were followed up and have a site visit by international teams. And MEX pay a lot of financial support. 1.35 billion yen, or 13.5 oku yen in terms of US dollars, it is almost 16 million US dollars as the current exchange ratios a year per center. But this amount, total budget doesn't include research money. So research center, the PIs, doctors of research center, WPI center, has a responsibility to have a research money from another source. And so this is a very long-term program. We will support financially for at least 10 years. And if you have an outstanding outcome, can be extended another 5 years. Next slide. And actually, we are keeping very high level of science in 5 research centers. For example, AIMR, Tohoku University ranked 4th position in citation material science. IPMU and Kamio Kande, for example, is a worldwide reputation in understanding universe. I²CNER, and one of the activities of I²CNER is the IPS cells, which is chosen as a breakthrough of the year, and it's a strong candidate of Nobel Prize. I²CNER is a world leader of immunology. For example, Akira's innate immunology is most cited in the medical science. And MANA ranks 3rd place in citation material science. Now we have I²CNER, so we expect very much I²CNER to be a world-leading research center in this field. Next slide. And one of the aims of WPI Center is a fusion of research. But fusion of research is not easy because every scientist is just concentrating the wrong scientific field. So fusion is, if you go fusion, you have another energy, not necessarily carbon neutral, but you have a very strong energy to make a fusion. But we think by fusion of existing research field or disciplines, we can make a new research areas, create new research areas, and also a new concept, and even a paradigm shift in the existing research or breakthroughs. So this is a very important task. But at the same time, fusion is very unpredictable, which I know. And real fusion will come from bottom up, which means the discussion among young researchers, so that we think this is very important to encourage communication, different field researchers in different field, and daily discussions, and or week-based, whatever it is, the discussions make new ideas among young researchers and makes a fusion and make a new field of research in some days in future. And for example, I²CNER is focusing on universe by fusion of mathematics physics. And if you visit I²CNER in Kashiwa campus, University of Tokyo, it's a very unique building. But in the center of the building, they have a large room, almost this size of room, and which is facilitates communication among researchers. So every day, every afternoon at 3 p.m., all researchers are asked to come down to conversation rooms, and they serve the coffee and cookies, and there are several blackboards. On the front of blackboard, mathematicians and physicians, it's a medicine, physicists are discussing on the front of blackboard. So maybe you think, I also think this is possible because of a theoretist. Immunologist or cell biologist cannot leave a laboratory for 30 minutes or 60 minutes in the daytime. But anyway, such a communication among young researchers is very important to create a new future. And we also ask to get together under one roof. And some institute has a fusion strategies. For example, I²CNER, I mentioned physics and mathematics, and Osaka University are making fusion of immunology, imaging, and bioinformatics, and materials and biology in mana. Next slide. And reform of a university system, a research system, is very, very important for us. And in most of the university, I don't know about Kyushu University, we are still keeping very traditional or bureaucratic way of administration. For example, scientists receive an invitation from outside of the country. Of course, it is written in English. The administration people ask scientists, please translate into Japanese. We cannot accept the English invitation. So this is one of the example. So we try to destroy such bureaucratic or administration limitations. For this, we try to use English as a primary language, and internationally open atmosphere. And as I mentioned, we aim to break of traditional bureaucratic systems. And for this, we need a support of host institution. And we also expect WPI experience will extend further away whole universities. So this WPI center is a core of reform of administration or science systems. And for this, we need a strong leadership of center director. We are very fortunately, Dr. Sofronis come Illinois. And we expect Dr. Sofronis not only reform of research systems, we expect him to reform culture in science. This is a very important task, Dr. Sofronis, because in the culture system, a mind of scientists in Japan is somehow closed, not opened. And I understand Sofronis collected white paper from all PIs and evaluate and to go further on the basis of white paper. This is the first time so far I know in other WPI or other universities in Japan. Next slide. Internationalization, I don't mention so much about because this is already achieved, all 5 research centers. In total, 45 researchers were foreigners in 5 institutes. For example, I²CNER is 48 of total researchers, and 80% postdocs are from foreign countries. And MANA is almost the same level. And it is also very important to organize international conference and symposium workshop. And this way, people in the science community know about the name of WPI to make globally visible. Next slide. And global visibility, it's almost achieved. And we made a questionnaire survey in, I think it was in summer period of 2008. So it is just 2 years after launching of WPI Center. We sent more than 5,000 questionnaires to the top class scientists, and also 30 leading scientists in each research center. So altogether, more than 150 leading scientists and more than 5,000 top scientists. Top scientist means scientists publish a paper in a top journal. And so this data is available in our homepage, but in summary, WPI Center is recognized by more than half of researchers and almost 80% of leading scientists in terms of WPI program, center's name of director, or its activity. And we initiated this WPI Center in 2007, but almost the same time, from 2006 to 2011, this year, 9 countries in Asia and Europe started almost the same program, WPI program. And this I learned first time in last September. We had a workshop on national excellence programs. Why 8 or 9 countries, or European and Asian countries, initiated a very similar program is a reason, it's the same background. It's now we need high quality of research, which is essential for sustainable growth under global competitions. And keyword for, in general, we can summarize excellence programs, include cutting-edge research, innovation, interdisciplinary research to create a new field, and reinforcement of universities, nurture of young researchers, and internationalization. This is a common keyword or concept of all national research, excellence research center all over the world, especially in Asia and European countries. Why not in the United States, not in United Kingdom? Because United States and United Kingdom already established such a center. So other countries in Asia and Europe are very much eagerly needed such present WPI center. So at the end of my talk, I very much expect I²CNER, which is a new style of WPI center and different from the existing 5 research center in terms of reform of culture in science. We very much expect Dr. Sofronis to do it in the next 10 years. Thank you very much for your attention.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tadashi Higashi, the Secretary General of the Fukuoka Strategy Conference for Hydrogen Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to introduce Mr. Higashi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tadashi Higashi of Nippon Steel Engineering, serving as a Secretary General for Fukuoka Strategy Conference for Hydrogen Energy. I would like to congratulate you on this grand opening of the kickoff symposium celebrating the establishment of the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, I²CNER, today. Fukuoka Strategy Conference for Hydrogen Energy is a partnership among industries, government, and academia aspiring to realize a hydrogen energy society. Hydrogen-related industries around Japan, Kyushu University, and other research institutions joined forces to execute Fukuoka Hydrogen Strategy, which we call High Life Project, through comprehensive approaches from 5 aspects: These aspects are research and development, community demonstrations, human resources development, building an international hub of hydrogen knowledge, and development of new hydrogen industries. Kyushu University plays a key role in the strategy conference. In the area of research and development in particular, Professor Yukitaka Murakami has led the world's most advanced studies of hydrogen. I would like to note that the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sport, Science, and Technology decided to sponsor new research and development project for hydrogen utilization technologies and CO2 emissions reduction. The kickoff of the decade-long large-scale project is highly encouraging to us who share same interest and aspirations. We have great expectations of Professor Sofronis, the director of I²CNER, and researchers participating in the project from around the world. I²CNER will address many research challenges. These challenges are epoch-making hydrogen production, hydrogen storage, safety transportation of hydrogen, high-resistant material to hydrogen embrittlement, development of the next generation fuel cells, and high-performance CO2 separation and sequestration. The solutions for these challenges are anticipated by industries as technologies that can contribute significantly to the realization of a hydrogen energy society. Japan leads the world in the commercialization of home-use fuel cells in 2009 and the planned product launch of fuel cell vehicles in 2015. I might say that full-fledged application of hydrogen as an energy source in our society is near at hand. On this background, the world is paying attention to I²CNER's aggressive efforts to find solutions for further challenges. I hope that I²CNER will produce many research outcomes and grow into a new world-class research hub, following the example of the Research Center for Hydrogen Industrial Use and Storage, Hydrogenius. The Fukuoka Strategy Conference is committed to promote Fukuoka Hydrogen Strategy High Life Project and contribute to a sustainable society. I'd like to ask you for your continued understanding and cooperation. Before closing my address, I wish all of you good health, happiness, and much success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Higashi. Thank you very much. Our last guest speaker this morning is Ms. Ann Emick, head of the National Science Foundation, Tokyo Regional Office. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Ms. Emick from the NSF in Tokyo.
Good morning, and thank you. It's an honor to be here today and extend congratulations to the I²CNER team on behalf of the U.S. Embassy and our science agencies, including the Department of Energy and the National Science Foundation, at this kickoff symposium for the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research. Ambassador John Roos had the distinct pleasure of visiting this beautiful campus and the I²CNER and Hydrogenius facilities just about a week ago. He thoroughly enjoyed his tour under the expert guidance of Professor Murakami, and he also enjoyed the opportunity to test drive the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. He extends his gratitude to everyone who was involved in his visit, especially Professor Murakami, and also looks forward to meeting with Professor Safronis in the near future. Now, from hydrogen fuel cells to carbon sequestration, I²CNER is grappling with some of the most important challenges in science and engineering today. Exciting that the Institute is pursuing its goals through international collaboration. And for us at the U.S. Embassy, it's especially important and exciting to see that the partnership between Kyushu University and the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign is integral to everything that I²CNER is doing. The U.S. and Japan have a rich history of collaboration in science and engineering, research and education. But the I²CNER collaboration will be unique in its scale, the scale of university-to-university collaboration, and in its focus on clean energy research. The vision that Kyushu University and the University of Illinois and the other international partners share through I²CNER is fully consistent with the U.S.-Japan program on cooperation in clean energy technologies, as was agreed to by U.S. President Barack Obama and then former Japanese Prime Minister Hatoyama in 2009. That agreement enhances U.S.-Japan cooperation in renewable energy, energy-efficient buildings, next-generation vehicles, carbon sequestration, and a range of other topics related to clean energy. Now, the I²CNER vision holds the promise not only of advancing U.S.-Japan collaboration in this critical area, but of advancing the frontiers of science and engineering in these most critical areas for research today. Now, at the National Science Foundation, we believe that frontier research should go hand in hand with education and research opportunities for students. Getting our students, our graduate students and our postdocs involved in our best research collaborations shares the excitement of cutting-edge research, expands our collaborative networks across generations, and strengthens the science and engineering workforce for the future in all countries involved. We're excited that I²CNER sees the student exchange as an integral part of its focus, and we look forward to following progress not only of the research but also the growth of the pool of students who from Kyushu University who have deep ties with the University of Illinois, and the students from Illinois who know Kyushu University well. So we at the National Science Foundation and at the U.S. Embassy look forward to watching your research progress, and we look forward to the excitement of what you're doing, spreading as your research results become available. I hope that the I²CNER team will see us as a partner and a resource as you move forward. So we offer you our hearty congratulations and our best wishes going into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Emick. Thank you. To all of the wonderful guest speakers, thank you very much again.